Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video, I am sharing how to be 10 times more confident than any of your peers. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So something that I have often had people say to me is that I'm very confident. And, you know, it does take a certain amount of confidence to be able to speak on camera and to be able to do all of the things that I do in terms of like productivity and personal growth and development. And, you know, I put a lot of my life out here in the sort of the public domain for you guys to like watch and learn about and pick apart in the comments. So that takes a certain amount of confidence, and people have always told me that I came across as very confident, and I've often been asked like, how are you confident? And the truth is, I actually have chronic anxiety and I'm a very nervous person, and that kind of might sound really weird coming from someone who's also like quite confident, but it wasn't always this way. Okay, so what did I do to develop confidence, and what did I do to get to the point where I am really confident and I'm able to just sort of like jump into things head first? I'm like, you know what, let's give it a go. Okay, so building that confidence was a long process, but I'm going to shortcut it for you if you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Did I say that? Give this video a thumbs up. Let's start. Number one, this is really boring. I have to say it first. Practice. You need to practice, okay? I did not get this way overnight. I got this way through like volunteering for things, like when I was at university and a lecturer would be like, you know, does anyone know the answer to this question? I would put my hand up, even if I was like 70% sure. And sometimes I was wrong, you know, but I learned, because that was embarrassing. Answering a question wrong in front of the whole like class, that was embarrassing. Okay, so, and like if there was like a group and they were asking who wants to lead this presentation, I would volunteer because I wanted to develop my confidence and my public speaking skills and so on and so forth. And this channel is also a form of me practicing being more confident, because, you know, I get all sorts of comments and I never know what kind of comments I'm going to get when I post a video. People might be like, oh, I hate your tips, or they might be like, this video was amazing. Okay, so I never know what it's going to get, and it's kind of unpredictable. So I have to practice, and it really comes with practice. And I know that's not what you want to hear, because practice is boring sometimes and it can be hard, and that's not necessarily like the shiniest or cutest tip, but you have to practice. Okay, if you want to get confident, you've got to practice jumping in the deep end. Right, number two, understand that everyone else is just winging it. Okay, this helped me so much, because I used to think that everyone else had it figured out and I was just some kind of like really incompetent outlier. That's absolutely not true. It was the foundation for a lot of my imposter syndrome as well, but it's really, really not true. Everyone else is just winging it. And once you realize that, yeah, okay, other people can be prepared as well, but other people are winging it to a much greater extent than you realize. And even if you feel like everyone else is super put together, I promise that's never the case. Some of the most successful people I know, and I am very proud to call some of them my close friends, have their own like struggles, and you know, they have their own self-esteem issues, and they have things that they're not naturally good at and they have to work really hard at. And then someone else will come and see that from the outside and they'll be like, oh my god, they have their life together, but you know, I'm hearing, you know, that they're like worried about things. Okay, so, and I'm the same. Okay, people have told me that I have my life put together, but that's absolutely not true. Like, I've said this on my channel so many times. Like, if you think that I am some kind of like productivity god, then you need to think again, because I am just a regular human being who messes up sometimes and sometimes says the wrong like sentence in the wrong order in her videos, or sometimes, you know, I forget where I put my house keys. Okay, and sometimes I have like anxiety and I just think that everyone's gonna hate me. Okay, so understand that everyone is just winging it, and confidence a lot of the time is not necessarily a facade, but it's a way that people present themselves, and it's not necessarily representative of how they're feeling. Number three, try harder and try to give less of a fuck about what everyone else thinks. Okay, something that is really helpful for confidence is just not caring about anyone else's opinion. And don't take this to extremes, obviously, but if you can care less about the opinions of others, you can actually be a lot more confident. Like, if you walked into a room, this is why people are often a lot more confident in an area where they don't know anyone, because they're like, you know what, I'm never going to see these people again, these people don't know me. So you really, like, you don't care what they think in the same way that you might care with a friend, or, with like a family member. Okay, so if you can like give less of a fuck about what other people think, then you are going to be much, much more successful in being confident and just trying harder at that. Another thing that's really important for you to remember is that you need to understand nobody successful will judge you for trying, okay? The only people who are going to judge you for trying to better yourself are people who are unsuccessful themselves and who are stuck where they are, okay? A successful person will never judge you for trying to like become better, okay? Like I have felt that YouTube is a really supportive place. Like everybody who's been really supportive of me has been like someone who's already kind of achieved what I am going after, and I found it's the same often as well in like a career setting, in an academic setting. Like I never had one of my lecturers judge me for studying too much, okay? Like that's not a thing. Like they were delighted, okay, that I was like reading and doing like academic work, okay? So nobody successful will judge you for trying to improve at something, okay? And anyone who is like criticizing you and bringing your confidence down is likely just not successful. And why would you listen to them? They haven't done what you want to do. Their opinion doesn't matter. Okay, the next thing that is really helpful for your confidence, and I'm going to say this with a smile on my face, and you're probably going to be like, Imogen, what the fuck? You are going to suck at first. You are going to suck so bad. You are going to be terrible. Your first attempt will probably crash and burn. And if you can go into that with a smile on your face, if you can go into that as cheerful as I am right now, there's a reason that I said this so cheerfully, and it's because that you need to just have fun with it, okay? You need to understand that everyone sucks at first. Everyone's a beginner, and beginners are going to be bad at things, and that's just part of the natural order, so you need to have fun with it, okay? I did my first YouTube video and it sucked so bad. Like I could watch it back right now and like laugh at all the mistakes, but genuinely you need to be able to laugh at your mistakes, okay? And you are going to suck at first, so you need to be gleeful about embracing how much you're going to suck, because if you're scared of it and if you're like, oh no, you know, you're never going to start, okay? It's never going to happen. So you need to understand that you're going to suck at first, and you're going to be like, huh, yeah, I'm going to suck, and it's going to be really funny, and then I'm going to learn, okay? So you just need to get into that mindset where you don't care about the quality of the first attempt. Like the whole point of the first attempt is to try, okay, just to get started. So it doesn't matter the quality of the first attempt, all right? You're going to suck at first. Be happy about it. The next thing, kind of related, is you need to enjoy the journey. You need to enjoy the journey of like getting better, getting more sort of like upskilled, okay? And if you don't enjoy the journey and you're like super like focused, like eyes on the prize, then you are just going to be miserable for most of it. And I was kind of that way about my degree, I can't lie. I mean, obviously, yes, I did enjoy the journey, but I was so focused on like, I need to get to graduation, I need to get to graduation. I feel like I could have made more of it. I don't know. But you need to enjoy the journey. So yeah, that point is kind of just self-explanatory. The next thing that I want to talk to you about confidence is that you need to be genuinely curious, okay? So when you are curious and when you're in the pursuit of knowledge, sometimes like confidence is not an issue, okay? So think about the last time you really wanted to find something out. You'd go to any lengths to find that thing out, right? And you weren't like scared and you weren't thinking, oh, you know, I'm gonna mess it up. No, you just wanted to find the thing out. So you went and you learned it, okay? So if you have that thirst for knowledge inside you, if you have that genuine curiosity, almost childlike curiosity, you're going to be more than happy to take risks in pursuit of that knowledge, okay? And it's not going to bother you because you're so excited about what you might learn that you forget that you have a confidence problem, okay? So be genuinely curious. Another thing, and this is a life hack, this is a cheat code, find other people who also suck and practice, okay? So if, like I mentioned earlier, that your first attempt is gonna suck, okay? And that's true. But if you also do it alongside other people who are similarly terrible, then it's very like wholesome and you can kind of all laugh at each other's terrible first attempts. Not in a mean way, but in a sort of like uplifting way, as in, look, we're all learning together, like we're in the same boat, okay? So some of my best and closest friendships have been forged in the early days of a new environment, whether that be at sixth form, at university, or like I was at like my first gig for my favorite band and I met one of my friends there. So in an environment where you are both like new at something or relatively new at something, okay, find other people who are like on the same level as you. It really is kind of transformative. And finally, this is maybe one of the biggest tips, okay? Do things for the sheer joy of it, okay? Like I mentioned, if you have that sort of thirst for knowledge, you have that curiosity, you are going to do things for the sheer joy of it. You are going to be so confident that you are gonna have fun, that you don't care about anything else, and you're not gonna be worried about, like, am I gonna be good at it? Because you are there to have fun, okay? So, like, remember last time you went to, I don't know, like a fun fair, and you went on, let's say you went on the Ferris wheel. You weren't worried about being the best Ferris wheel passenger in existence. No, you were there going, wee, look at the view, okay? So you need to get to that point where you're like, wee, look at the view. It's so important. It literally is so important. You need to do things for the sheer joy of it. And if you don't, then it's going to be a lot harder to like find that confidence. Okay? So that's how to be 10 times more confident than any of your peers. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video. Go and be confident. It's okay. Bye.